Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Steins Gate 0. In the last episode, Rintaro Okabe decided not to answer the incoming phone call from Amadeus Kurisu, instead turning his attention to the matter at hand. The case of the laptop and hard drive that both belonged to Kurisu Makase. Maho and Daru both want to be able to access the information that's currently stored on either of those devices, but Rintaro is firmly adamant. As long as either of those exist, the possibility of Stratfor, Derpa, or even Russia getting their hands on them will ultimately set the fire to the conflagration that is World War III. And as much as Maho wants to believe otherwise, Rintaro will not budge on this matter. She still didn't seem satisfied. You don't get everything in life, I'm afraid. That's the harsh truth.
でもこれはクリスが生きていたという証、クリスが残した意志なのよ。
Unfortunately, that proof that you're talking about is very valuable in the wrong hands.
それをあっさり葬り去るなんて。
Well, there is a possibility that if we figure out her password, we can erase the information ourselves and keep the actual physical items as mementos of Kurisu's life prior to her unfortunate end in July. But unfortunately, we have no way of knowing Kurisu's password, nor any clues to it.
その中身を知る
So
ことで
that's out the window.
今度は君が狙われるかもしれない。
And Rintaro does have a point. If those who want that information believe that we have actually seen it first, we will become targets, whether we like it or not.
そうだけど。
Maho still wants to hold on to the memory of Kurisu Makase. If this wasn't working, maybe I needed to try another approach.
その PC のパスワードをクリスには当然聞いてみたんだろ
う。Maho seems surprised, but I think she's starting to realize where Rintaro is going with this.
アマデウスだよ。
もちろん最初に試してみたわ。
So what happened, may I
でも
ask?
ダメだったんだな。
Maho nodded. Well, if Amadeus Kurisu didn't want you to know the password, then there is no way that the real flesh and blood Kurisu would have let you do the exact same thing. Of course, if Kurisu were alive, she might help us in the situation. Then again, if she were alive, we wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. For many
おかしい
reasons.
よな。普通は知っているはずだろう。
I think she does. I'm pretty sure. In fact, I know for certain that Amadeus Kurisu knows the password.
でもアマデウスのクリスは知らなかった。
It's not that she doesn't know. It's that she doesn't want anyone else to know.
それなら 考えられる可能性は一つだ。クリス本人がアマデウスの知らないうちにパスワードを変更した。
Although we can't entirely discount that particular possibility. Rintaro's argument on this matter is solid. And if Kurisu has changed the password, then there will be no knowing what that password might be. In other words, we're back to square one.
なぜそうしたと思う？中身を知られたくなかったからじゃないのか。
Maho can't exactly counter that argument because otherwise it would actually represent a huge security risk. Not that Kurisu didn't want to tell Maho the password, but if she inadvertently put Maho's life at risk by telling her, that would have been too much on her conscience.
死者の墓を暴くような真似はやめよう。な。
暴くなんて、そんな言い方。
Come to think of it, Rintaro made the same remark when Daru first brought up the fact that he had Kurisu's laptop and hard drive in his possession back at Queen May's. But it seems like Maho is finally conceding the point.
ごめんなさい。確かに岡部さんの言う通りかもしれないわ。
If Kurisu Makase didn't want the information that she gathered and the information she has at her disposal to fall into the wrong hands, then who are we to say otherwise?
私、クリスにこだわりすぎているのかもしれない。
The only silver lining to all this is that you're not nearly as obsessed with Kurisu as Rintaro is. Not yet, anyway.
君がクリスのことをとても大切に思っていることはよくわかるよ。
Indeed, the two of you were colleagues at Victorchondria for many years.
だがこればかりは手を出さない方がいい。パンドラの箱どころか地獄の釜の蓋になりかねない。
There is another very scary possibility. If the information on these devices fall into the hands of our enemies, it could very well alter the world line itself and accelerate the onset of World War III.
中二病を打つ。
That argument will not work, Daru.
いちいち茶化すな。
Maho hugged the laptop tight to her chest and sighed.
了解したわ、岡部さん。今起こっている事態そのものは理解した。まだ頭の整理はついてないけどね。
I know you want the absolute truth and the certainty that comes along with knowing it, but that truth may lead to ruin and worse.
このノート PC は破棄しましょう。
ありがとう。
Well, that, as they say, is that. I was so glad she understood.
やっぱり大した人だ君は。
何が？
ス、こんな話は花から否定するか否定しないまでも全て疑ってかかるか、どっちかだろ。
That's true.
買いかぶりすぎよ。
Daru, however, is still disappointed in all this.
いつもの私だったら否定どころか聞く耳すら持っていないわ。
But it is the truth.
科学者っていうのはね、本来どんな些細な可能性であっても否定すべきではないんだけれど、得てして自分の主義主張や常識に固執する傾向にあるから。
That is the fallacy of science in the end.
じゃあ今回はなぜ？
そこにマキセ・クリスが関わっているからよ。
Maho's smile was bitter.
タイムトラベル理論？タイムリープマシン？冗談じゃないわ。そんなもの存在してたまるものですか。
And yet, those two were inventions of none other than Kurisu Makase herself.
でもね、クリスならやりかねない。
You're entirely correct on that front, Maho Hiajo. They weren't impossible at all.
いつだって私の常識を破壊し尽くしてきたのはあの子なんだから。
And without her scientific expertise, we would never have been able to return to the Beta World Line and keep Mayuri Shina alive.
そうか。
That's right. Her Amadeus login ID was Salieri. I almost said that, but stopped myself. It seemed to me like that ID held some kind of gloomy meaning to her as a scientist.
で、
We all know why.
依頼料はどうするん？実はマホタンにもらった分さ、今月末発売のエロゲー予約で使っちゃったんだよね。
Too much information there, Daru.
お前最低だな。
そのための裏バイトなんだっつうの。
I have no words.
いいわ、お金を返してだなんて言いません。
Well, at least Maho doesn't want a refund.
もともとダメ元で頼んだのだし。
A very cruel blow there, Maho.
言っとくけど、あと3日あればパスワード突き止めて解析完了してたから、これはガチ。
I'm not too sure about that. Tote serious slang means seriously or really. I wouldn't hold my breath on that.
そういうことにしておくわ。
Maho smiled and turned back to me.
ちなみに一応証拠は見せてほしいんだけれど。
Ah yes. We may have convinced Maho Hiajo to leave well enough alone with our argument. Unfortunately, we've left the gates wide open.
証拠？
どこかに置いてあるんでしょ、そのタイムマシン。それと 鈴葉さんに一度話を聞きたいわ。
I don't think we can refuse this, Rintaro. Just saying.
それはどうだろうな。
Too late now. Daru had agreed to it, but still, I told Maho about the time machine without asking Suzuha. We just gotten into a fight, and I really didn't want to bring this up with her. But even showing Maho the time machine would mean I'd need to get Suzuha's permission, and that made it difficult.
ダル。鈴葉に話を通すのはお前から。
That was not a good sound. Before I could finish my sentence, the intercom on the desk beeped.
もう大事な話してんのになんだお。
His tone was the same as ever, but I didn't miss the sudden flash of tension across Daru's face. I've got a bad feeling about this.
もしもし、なんかあったん？
Very bad feeling indeed. Daru flipped through several channels on the security monitor as he continued to talk on the phone. All 6 monitors have been displaying the interior of the store, but now they showed the entrance to the building, the emergency exit, the corridors, the elevator hall, and the emergency stairs. So we had cameras not just inside the building, but outside it too. That is incredible security. But this was no time to be impressed. The images were covered in white snowy static. However, you could see strange figures on the screens.
なんだこいつら。
Well, this is a bit of a problem. Looks like they found us even without the inadvertent aid of Amadeus Kurusu. The entrance to the building, the 1st floor elevator hall, the 7th floor elevator hall, the 7th floor emergency stairs, and in front of the cosplay shop. There'd been nothing there a moment ago. Now there were 4 men standing in each of those 5 places. They were silent, did not speak to each other. Looks like they've got us completely boxed in. There were around 20 of them in all, and only 3 of us. Some of them were wearing suits, others typical Akihabara fashions, yet others were wearing military camo. Individually, none of them would really stand out in Akihabara. But the fact that so many people had all come to this lonely building at once seemed terrifying. But who are they with? Are they with Stratfor, Derpa, or somebody else?
オキドキ。ここは放置するわ。君も適当に逃げるといいよ。ほんじゃ。
Let's blow this popsicle stand and get out of here. Evidently he'd been talking to the man at the front counter. I don't think they're interested in him. We need to get the hell out of Dodge. He put down the intercom and looked at us.
そういうわけで逃げるべ。
Preaching the choir on that one.
え？
We need to leave, now. Daru pulled out a backpack and began tossing hard drives, memory cards, and other pieces of equipment into it.
そのノート PC も please。
Don't want to leave that behind. Maho stood there blinking as she handed him Kurisu's laptop and hard drive.
おい、あいつらは誰だ？
They're not our friends, Rintaro. I'll say that much.
やっぱりクリスの PC が狙われているの？
It seems like they managed to track us down again without the aid of the Amadeus app.
さあどうかな。僕もいろいろやらかしてるからさ、こういうこと今までにもあったし。
I doubt it's happened exactly like this, Daru.
ま、だからこそ裏のバイトなわけで。
おいおい。
This time, however, I'm sure they're not after your hacking skills. Daru took the laptop and hard drive from Maho, threw them into the backpack, and slid it onto his back.
そもそも逃げるってどうやって？店の入り口には連中がいるんだぞ。
We need to find another route. Another route out of here.
いやこの場所気に入ってたのにな。ついに放棄か。
Yeah, this place was never really meant to be used as a safe house. Despite his tone, his expression was still serious. He walked to the corner of the room. There was a life-sized poster of a golden-haired Vocalo stuck to the wall. The name of the DTM, Desktop Music, software for home computers that allows for the creation of an artificial singing voice. Okay.
リンタちょっとごめんよ。
You gave it a name, Daru. Daru carefully took the poster off the wall, making sure not to damage it. Looks like we have our escape route. There was a glass door hidden behind it, which led out to a concrete veranda.
こっちだお。
Good thinking, Daru. Wait, that was how he was going to escape? But this was the 7th floor, right? There wasn't any time to worry about it, however. Daru went out to the veranda without bothering to wait for us. I pushed Maho forward and urged her to go ahead of me. The veranda was filled with junk, just like the inside. The floor was covered with old PCs and monitors, as well as old arcade games that were clearly broken. There was barely any place to stand. At least it's crowded enough so that 20 people can't follow us all together. But that meant, as long as you ducked down a little, there was probably no way you could be seen from the outside. Maybe he set this up deliberately so he could use it in case of an emergency. Maybe so. His job is high risk after all. From there we escaped like we were in a spy movie. We removed the board that connected this veranda to the next one, moved down to the room at the edge of the building, and then used the emergency ladder to get to the 2nd floor. It was an empty space that Daru rented with some of his acquaintances, and we were able to use the bathroom to escape to an unused room in the next building. My blood ran cold when Daru got a call that the men in front of the cosplay shop had broken in. But we're here and not there. But looks like they're on our tail. From there we plan to escape from the next building's emergency exit. The emergency exit there led out to a different alleyway than the one we'd originally come in, so in theory they shouldn't have been able to find us. But we were naive. The narrow alleyway between the buildings was dark and deserted. They were waiting for us there, as if they'd known exactly where we were going. Looks like they've covered all their bases. All their bases belong to them. We were caught off guard, and before we could run, one of them grabbed Maho. and then there was no way for us to resist. They grabbed Daru and me, twisted our arms behind our backs, and slammed us to the ground. But it wasn't the group who attacked us in the building. They were all wearing full face masks, but motorcycle suits and leather jackets. So there's more than one, or more than two. One of them, the girl holding down Maho, was clearly a woman. 3 guesses as to who she might be. But there was only one woman I knew who would attack us while dressed like that. Wait a minute. Even though her voice is muffled, I think I can recognize the voice from the woman currently restraining Rintaro. So maybe he wasn't entirely wrong. I was right. I knew that voice. I could tell even with her helmet hiding her face. She held Maho with her left arm and took out a military knife with her right. She put the knife up to Maho's throat. I was hoping that this wouldn't be the case. Unfortunately, my hopes were in vain. The horrible memories came flooding back to me. Whether it had happened in a different world line or not, the merciless voice that had taken Mayuri from me was right here. Maho Hiajo, allow me to introduce to you the true nature of the woman you once knew. I gritted my teeth so hard it hurt and glared at the woman in the motorcycle suit. Unfortunately, our pleas will be in vain. It has been quite a while since we've seen you and your other guys as a CERN rounder, Moa Kiryu. I forced myself to speak, and the woman in the motorcycle suit took the knife away from Maho's neck. She handed her over to one of the other men. So it seemed like CERN aren't entirely out of this power play after all, he thinks. And then she took off her helmet. Well, I sure do hope somebody hands me that phone, because I called it. Prepare to be reintroduced, Maho Yajo. Moa Kiryu. So it was you after all. Yeah. Things just got worse. Her eyes were completely devoid of emotion. Just like they were on August 13th, 2010, on the Alpha World line. I was forced off the ground by one of the others. But my arm was still twisted upwards. I tried as hard as I could not to scream from the pain. Morica, if we manage to get out of this situation, you can tell your precious FB, aka Yugo Tanuji, that I will not pay a cent of the rent for the future gadget laboratory. We will be lodging a complaint with him. If we manage to get out of the situation, of course.
まず手を離せ。これじゃちゃんと話もできない。
We should have been wary of her from the start. In fact, Rintaro was always wary of her. Mocha slightly nodded to the other men. The hand that was holding me drew back. But need I point out, need I remind you all, that CERN are no longer the big fish in the small pond in this beta world line. I could finally move again. Daru was released too, and he stood up, mumbling something. It seems like the Rounders are after Kurisu's belongings, just like Stratfor and Durpa in Russia. Looks like they're not letting go of their own ambitions for time travel technology. But Maho was still in their hands.
ヒアジョ博士と交換。
We are not having a repeat of the events of the Alpha World Line, Moa Kikiryu.
Daru, リュックを貸せ。
Sadly, we know of Moika's loyalty to FB. If Tanuchi asked her to murder Dr. Hiajo, despite their close friendship, despite the acquaintance they've shared, Moika Kiryu would do so in a heartbeat. So there is no other choice. Daru was about to take off his backpack.
ダメよ、私はダメ。
ヒアジョさん、おとなしくしててくれ。そいつは本当に君を殺す。脅しじゃない。
After all, we've already been through this whole song and dance several times.
自分の論文のために君が死んで、それでクリスが喜ぶのか。
Once again, Maho Hiajo has been betrayed by somebody that she trusted the most. First Leskinen, then Reyes, and now Moika. Maho looked like a small child on the verge of tears. Still glaring at Moika, I took out the laptop and hard drive out of the backpack. By the way, those other men are still probably looking for us.
これだ。
But are they with CERN? Or Stratfor? Or Durpa? I don't know.
リュックごと渡して。
先にヒアジョさんを解放しろ。
Playing it very close to the chest, Rintaro, as always. If Moika decides to null this negotiation, there's nothing we can do to stop her. She didn't respond. Fine then. I'd have to bluff.
複合化するパスワードを知りたければ、俺たちを出し抜こうとするな。
Well, no point in letting them think that we don't know the password. I put the two items in the backpack and handed it over to her. It was all I could do to keep my voice from quaking.
こいつはパスワードがなければ絶対に起動することができない。世界中のハッカーがサジを投げた代物だ。
And the kernel of truth to spice up the bluff, so that she won't, that she'll think twice.
俺たちの
Hopefully.
安全が保証されたら教える。こいつを渡した途端に殺されたんじゃたまらないからな。
Your negotiation skills are actually rather impressive, Rintaro Okabe, especially in this situation. Of course, I had no clue what the password was, but if they found that out, we were doomed. Daru was giving me a questioning glance. It's the only way we can make it out of this situation alive. I ignore it. Keep your damn mouth shut, Daru.
確かにそうね。
Excellent. She bought it. Alright, she fell for it. That meant...
それじゃあ誰か一人私たちと来てもらう。
Unfortunately, there is a snag in our plan. She's going to take a hostage.
二人は今すぐに解放する。その後パスワードが正しければ残り一人も解放する。
Looks like Cern is not letting go without a fight. Now we have 3 sinister organizations to deal with instead of just the 2. And if we have to get involved with Russia and the EU on the side, it'll essentially mean the Future Gadget Laboratory versus the world. So, no pressure then. Damn, that's not good enough.
それはダメだ。残る一人の命の保証がない。
Unfortunately, we just lost our bargaining chip.
なら三人とも来てもらうだけ。
Well played, Moroka Kiryu. Well played. Also, I'm never forgiving you for your shenanigans on the Alpha World line. You know what I'm talking about, even if you don't remember it, Moroka Kiryu. Relating to your trademark phone? That still pisses me off. This woman. I could feel cold sweat on my back. I'd never been involved in a life or death deal before, and I had no idea what to do next.
明日至る。こっちへ。
え、僕？
We regret ever hiring you as a private investigator, Moroka Kiryu.
あなたはスペシャリストだと聞いている。リュックを持ってこっちへ。
いや、
So we're in a complete bind at the moment, because we have a very serious problem here. On the one hand, if Stratfor and Derpa get their hands on Kurizu's laptop and hard drive, we can basically say hello to World War III. And if CERN get their hands on those same items, we might end up back in the same situation as the Alpha World line, or worse, we might end up switching world lines inadvertently and reliving the whole entire nightmare again. In other words, we are seriously caught between a rock and a hard place. God damn it. But that will be it for this episode of Let's Play Steins Gate 0. When we return, adventurers, we shall have to hope that Rintaro can think on his feet and somehow manage to defuse the situation in which he, Daru and Maho find themselves trapped by. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.